Hi there. Welcome back to a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast. 2025 season review series kicks on. It's me and Cal today. Cal's very emotional because as we record this, I believe Scotland have just made their way to the next World Cup. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. We're currently, the referee's refusing to blow the full-time whistle, but we've just scored from the halfway line. It's 4-2. We're 2 minutes past when the game's meant to end. We're going to America. It's happening.
Speaking of America, we're here to talk about baseball, and this is one of our teams. I'm on hosting duties today because Cal wants to be treated like royalty and a guest, which is perfectly fine. Hence why I'm here.
You treat me like royalty anyway, guys.
I know. What can I say? We're so cute. Our guest today is the first ever for a Brit Does Baseball. We've got a mythical creature on the podcast, Cal.
Yeah, facts.
I can't wait. The mythical creature is a dragon, and joining us all the way from San Francisco on the West Coast is avid Giants fan and the expert for this episode, Dylan is a dragon. Let's welcome him to the podcast.
It's me. How's everybody doing?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Doing fantastic, man. Not as good as you're doing, but you know what? I'm just dandy.
There's not a single person in the world that's happier than I am right now. Scotland's qualified for the World Cup. I've just had a beautiful evening celebrating my mum's birthday, and we've got you on the podcast about to talk about the Giants. Nothing. This is the peak. It doesn't get better than this.
I love that, dude. I love it.
But no, thank you very much for coming on and taking time out of your busy schedule to come talk shit about us. I think Gary's quite excited to hear some Giants opinions that aren't mine. So it's going to be a fun one.
All right, let's get into it.
It'll be very refreshing. So just want to start, Dylan, why are you a San Francisco Giants fan? And then growing up or even now, is there sort of a player that highlights your fandom? Who's your favorite player to have ever played for the Giants?
Favorite player ever is Barry Bonds. He's the greatest player to pick up a bat, greatest player to pick up a baseball. He's the best to ever do it. I don't want to hear about that Shohei idiot. But Giants baseball, baby. I grew up going to games. I grew up a huge fan. It's kind of just been in my blood since a wee little lad. And here I am to talk about it as a 31-year-old grown man. And people like my takes on social media, and some people hate them, but I do it anyway.
That's perfect. That's amazing. And I don't disagree with Barry Bonds either. I personally think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
He will be. He will be eventually. Yeah.
Without a doubt. Perfect. Well, welcome to the podcast. I don't know if you've listened before, but we like to start our podcast episodes off with some hot takes. They are traditionally called booze hot takes because my greyhound makes them. She's a magic greyhound. Do you understand? You're a dragon. But she's had a long season. She's a retired racer. So she gets the winter off. So instead of booze hot takes, it's just our hot takes. So we've got 3 hot takes. All are based on the San Francisco Giants. If you've not listened to our podcast before, welcome. Thanks for coming. We'd love to have you. We use the Nando's Spice Scale because nothing else, no other measurement scale should be used on Earth because Nando's is the only thing that matters. We go, if it's an outrageous take, extra hot, all the way down to mild if you just think it's barely come out the oven. Also, we have our Perry Tamer, of course, if you think it's so outrageous, it's not even on the hot scale. You ready to start, Dylan? Ready for your first hot take?
Let's do it, yeah.
Perfect. The first hot take, this one was my creation. I've got that the Rafael Devers trade will end up being one of the best trades in the last 10 years over time.
I don't think that's too hot at all. I think Rafael Devers is a sensational player. I think he's a superstar who puts up borderline MVP numbers year in and year out. We gave up peanuts for him. Hopefully those guys have success. I forget the names off the top of my head who we gave up. It was we'll get back to it. Doesn't even matter. That's how important it is. I mean, Rafael Devers, I'm a little biased because I've always had him on my keeper league fantasy baseball team. So I've always been a huge Devers fan. And when he came to the Giants, it was like Scotland headed into the World Cup for me. It was fantastic. And I think it's certainly going to be one of the best trades to go down in the last 10 years. So I like that. That's a barbecue sauce for me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree, purely because of what was given up. I think that Rafael Devers could be just slightly above mediocre, and it will still go down as a fantastic trade for the Giants. I think that he didn't have his strongest year, and it was still fucking great. You know what I'm saying? He's learning a new position slowly, but he's getting there. He's doing all right. Yeah, I think it's going to, just because of the magnitude of the player he is, kind of, if you're looking at statistics and not necessarily personality, then I think it is going to go down as one of the better ones. So I reckon it's pretty medium take. There will be better trades, but not many.
I'm trying to. What's the name of that? You gave up one of your starters. Was it Hicks?
Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and somebody Tibbs the third, who was the real kind of star in that trade, I think.
That was the big piece in the trade, because he was our first round pick that season, or that draft. And then he ended up making his way to LA. So he, through a couple more trades, is now with the Dodgers, which that is maybe the side of the trade that could come back to haunt us, is if he actually becomes the star that he's supposed to be, he's going to be playing for the Smurfs down south, and the Giants won't love that. So,
yeah.
I love that. Well, I don't love the fact he's gone to the Dodgers, but
no,
I love the fact he basically went from the West to the East Coast, back to the West Coast again in the season.
Yeah. It's a long flight.
So we've got medium to be. Barbecue sauce and medium to begin with. So let's try and make this a bit spicier.
Let's do it.
The next hot take is that Tony Vitello is a good hire, managerial hire.
Man, these are some little squishy barbecue sauce takes, man. I thought you were going to hit me with like Giants are winning 5 World Series in a row or something crazy like that. No,
can be the third one if you want.
We'll get there. But Tony Vitello, I think, is going to be a fantastic manager. As you can tell, I might be a little bit biased towards the San Francisco Giants, but I think that's okay, especially for the purpose of this podcast. Tony Vitello is a fantastic manager. He brings the fire and energy, the same that Drew Gilbert does for this team, but now it's at the managerial position, and I think it's going to trickle on down through every aspect of this team, and I think we're going to win. We're going to become a very successful franchise again, like we used to be in the early 2010s.
Nice. Cal, where do you land on this?
Yeah, this is lemon and herb, dude. I think he's going to be fantastic. Primarily from my stance that the manager of a baseball team, there cannot be that much advanced tactics. So you just need a guy that's going to get everyone fucking going. And who's going to do that more than him? I think that it's exciting for the type of team that Buster Posey's wanting to build, because, we've had Bob Melvin, who... great manager. I like what he did, but he's a very he's your stereotypical baseball manager, right? He's going to stand in the dugout. He's going to raise his eyebrow, and then someone's going to come out of the bullpen. Like, that's it. He's going to just kind of be calm. He's going to get up for the players when he needs to, but fucking it's going to take him a second to get there. Whereas Tony Vitello is going to be all over. He's going to be jumping around when we're scoring. He's going to be up in umpires' face. He's going to bring just another level of fire to the team that I think the Giants have sorely lacked in the last few years.
Nice. Well, I'll try. Okay, I've thrown you a couple of curveballs, and they've not been treated well. So I'll end with the fastest I can throw, which is approximately 45 miles per hour.
Nice. Yeah.
On a good day. Don't ask any of my teammates. The hot take is Patrick Bailey should not be on the San Francisco Giants going forward because he's a liability on offense.
Again, man, these are 3 takes in a row that I agree with a lot. I don't think it's that crazy. I think Patrick Bailey obviously has the best glove in baseball behind the dish, but he's just not a good hitter at all, and he never has been. I think you put it great by saying he's a liability. I do think he's a liability at the plate. Even though somehow he had like 3 or 4 big walk-offs last year, including the walk-off inside the park home run, which was magnificent. But I think there are ways that the Giants could improve at that position. I think if you sacrifice a little bit on defense to give a bat that can, put the ball in play a handful more times than Patrick Bailey even, it would go a long way. So where do I think this is on the scale? Maybe Mild and lemon pepper.
I've got him off a barbecue sauce. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Off of the Pyrenees. I don't know. I think this is a little bit hot. I think that with wanting to attract top level pitching, which is going to win you more games, I think, than kind of your standout offense, which is important. But if the other team can't hit the ball, they're not going to score runs. And I think having someone as solid and secure as Patrick Bailey behind there probably is slightly more enticing for the possibility of free agent big pitchers coming in. He's not the best offensively, but he's not the worst. He's down there, but there's probably a few guys worse than him. I think he needs to pick a side. I forget which side it is, but he seems to be slightly better at that other side. It's probably his left hand.
He's a switch hitter.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a switch hitter. He's definitely better from the left hand.
So in which case, I think he should, just stick there, stay there. That's fine.
Yeah, I think it's a good point.
He'll get hits. He'll be fine. But I think, that little bit of extra defensive presence with, I don't want to not see him throw people out at second. It's my favorite part about Giants games, honestly. It's electric. I love it. I think it's pretty spicy. I'd prefer Bailey to be on the team and sacrifice probably 30 RBIs for it.
Nice. Well, I've got one spicy take out of 6 possibilities, so I'll take it. Even if I only created the first one, I rephrased the last one thinking, oh, Dylan's gonna bite at this, I'll get an extra hot take, but I worded it poorly. I should have gone the other way, saying Patrick Bailey's the best player on the team, and
that would have been ultra hot chili pepper.
Whilst we're on the topic of Nando's, what would be your go-to Nando order, Dylan? We like to ask some of our guests this.
Oh, I've never been to Nando's. I've only had the hot sauce, and I put it on sandwiches, chicken, a bunch of good stuff.
Oh,
yeah. Well, they kind of just do.
Fly me out there and take me to Nando's. What do you guys say?
All right. It'll be you and Nico from the Angels podcast we just did. We'll have we'll have a festival of food. Except
I'd love it, dude.
Nando's.
I wouldn't even know which Nando's we go to. I can't say I've got that in the budget personally for the flights, but Cal might be able to buy it.
Fucking no chance. But sponsor us.
Yeah,
some sponsor out there, fly us out to wherever. And where even are you guys? You're in London?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, all right.
Just both outside of London, but different directions, and we don't have enough time on the podcast to exactly explain where. But we'll say London. Fuck it, why not?
That's what I'm not in San Francisco either. I'm right outside of San Francisco, so it's kind of the same thing.
There you go. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's. As much as I love chatting Nando's, I could do that. I could do a podcast on Nando's. We're here to talk about the Giants. So the Giants 2025 season finished 81-81, third in the NL West, missed the playoffs. Finished with a positive run differential. I guess Dylan, if you could sum up the season in one word, what would it be?
Average.
I think that's fair.
Or just like what we expected, kind of like the Giants, I think over the past 5 to 10 years are literally exactly 500. It's not like they're one game above or below. They're exactly 500. This team has been so incredibly average for far too long. And it's kind of, it's irking me, man. I'm getting fired up over here because now I'm pissed off. Way to go, Gary.
Well, I couldn't get you with a hot take, so I need to get somewhere else.
Well, you got me with this.
I guess we do need to talk about it in a little more detail. The Rafael Devers trade, I'd say it was probably the most shocking trade of the last 3 years, just for the timing of it as well. I mean, I know he wasn't happy in Boston, and Craig Breslow did his best to kind of force him out. Did you ever think the Giants were in for him, or was it just when it was announced, you were like, "Oh shit, we've just got arguably the best third base hitter in the league"?
So I actually tweeted, it was like 2 weeks before the trade that the Giants should go trade for Rafael Devers. I put that out there. And I'm not saying Buster Posey follows me and saw that tweet, but it was awfully weird timing that it did happen, and they went out and got Rafael Devers. So I'm not going to say I was expecting it, but that was just kind of like my pipe dream, and it was just unbelievable that it came true. The local radio station shouted me out because I had tweeted that, and a bunch of people were getting all over it. It was one of the cooler moments of my life.
Nice. And then I guess your biggest off-season acquisition in free agency, shortstop Willy Adames. As a Cubs fan, very happy for him not to be playing for the Brewers. Yeah. Not that made a lick of difference this season, but hey-ho. How do you think Adames settled, finally breaking the 30 home run curse for the Giants? Is it shortstops or players that haven't hit 30 home runs in an amount of time, Cal?
Anyone.
Yeah, since 2004, Barry Bonds. It's quite a long time ago, so I was glad to see that record be shattered. I thought Willy Adames had a pretty good season. He struggled out the gate early on. He was not hitting the ball. He was committing a lot of errors on the defensive side of the ball. But he really pulled it together, and I mean that's kind of what veteran players who have been in and around the league and have been to multiple All-Star games in the playoffs, it's what they do, right? And he was able to do that. And a lot of people, Giants Twitter is just a terrible place to be. So many people were saying we should get rid of him 2 weeks into the season. And I get the frustration, but baseball is 162 games for a reason, right? People are going to struggle. They're going to go through hot streaks and cold streaks. And I was super pleased with Adames, seeing him, put things together right after that break where they told him to not touch a baseball, don't come to practice, stay home, take a full day off, and get it together tomorrow.
Nice. The only other one I really want to talk about on the positional side is Young-Hoo Lee. No, there's two more, sorry. Young-Hoo Lee, I guess, for me, he got 12 triples. I can't even count to 12. It shows how fast he is. It shows how fun Oracle Park is as a stadium. I think good outside bet for an inside the park home run every now and then. But is there a case to maybe say that Young-Hoo Lee's future isn't in centre field?
Potentially. He definitely struggled in the field last year. I think he had one of the worst defensive run saves saved in the league. But also I think, last year was kind of like his rookie season, right? Because he had maybe 30, 40 games his actual rookie year. He dislocated his shoulder, whatever it was out for a while, came back. So last year was really him getting used to the, speed of the game, the everything, even the size of the stadium potentially. So could he not be in center field? Maybe, but I think he will show improvements, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. And hopefully he'll be able to stick out there because the short sample size in his actual rookie season, he looks really good fielding center field.
Nice. And then from one outfielder to another, and I know Cal, I think this is kind of a point that Cal wanted to bring up. 2024 was a great season for Heliot Ramos, right? All-star, smashing it out the park. Had a bit of a slump this year. I think Cal's got his own point on this, so I'll hand it over to him for this one.
Nothing statistics based, just opinions really, where I don't know, the team, I just feel like we can't afford for him to not be a decent enough left fielder. I just feel like there's no room for him to DH with, Devers and Eldridge potentially and fucking whoever, Wilmer Flores, whatever. I don't know, just how did you feel about Heliot Ramos and how do you feel going forwards with kind of, do we want to keep him in left field or do we want to try him maybe somewhere else?
I mean, I think you bring up a good point. There really is nowhere else for him to play. Unless he can magically play right field all of a sudden. But you got Drew Gilbert sitting over there. No, he was a nightmare in left field last year, and his bat wasn't good enough to make up for it. At times he was good enough hitting to make up for it, but I would love to see a lot more consistency with him on both sides. I don't think he's magically going to become this fantastic left fielder who's just, great on defense, but if his bat is to get where it was expected to be when he was a prospect and what everyone thought of him, then it's fine. You can sacrifice that and be like, you know what, he'll make an error every now and then, but he's also going to come in and rope 3 home runs. So it's kind of like a trade-off, but he's not there yet.
I hear that. I don't know. I think I'd like to see him do well, but I think thinking about the team and the future in mind, it kind of sucks to say, but I hope he starts really well and then we trade him for just kind of more prospects, a little bit better. I think if we do make a bit of a splash in free agency, I think an outfield of potentially, I mean, we'll get into this more in the second half, but an outfield of Kyle Tucker, Drew Gilbert, Jung-Hoo Lee is pretty fucking spicy. And I just don't see room for Ramos in this team. He has to play every day. He's too good not to, even when he's shit. So I think that, maybe the best thing for him is to play him to death, play him into a good run of form so that you can draw more out of other teams. I mean, the season before, he was a fucking all-star. He's got it in him. The ceiling's incredibly high. I just think that I just don't know if he fits in with this team massively. And that I feel like this last year we saw the foundation quite quickly of who this team is going to be with just a couple of holes. I think right field had a bit of a question mark, and I think Elliot Ramos and Patrick Bailey have a little bit of a question mark over their head. Both good enough to keep around. It's not the end of the world, but definitely could be improved upon. But I think that a lot of the infield is solid, where we may not be the best at first base, but at least we know who's going to play there every day. I think Casey Schmidt has been, fantastic at second base, considering that's not where he's supposed to play. And I think him and Christian Koss, between the two of them, they kind of figured it out. Willy Adames and Matt Chapman are the fucking best to ever do it, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what anybody else thinks. They're fantastic. It really is only Patrick Bailey and Elliot Ramos who are two phenomenal players that over the course of the season, I was like, I don't know, maybe we could get something back for them that in 3 years makes us look really good.
I agree with most of that. I think I'm a little off on not Patrick Bailey. Casey Schmidt. I think he's just pretty average. Another guy that goes through hot streaks. He's not great in the field, especially going to his right. He showed that a handful of times that he just can't do it really. But given that, it's not like his natural position, he was all right, and like at times he showed that he can rake. I just do think there are ways that we can improve at second base as well. But shortstop and third base, I fully agree. And first base too, while we're at it.
The thing is that Casey Schmidt has to play second base because, as far as I'm concerned, no one else is as nice a guy. And that's who I want to build the team around, is that Casey Schmidt seems like a fucking dude and I want him on the team forever. He might be my favorite player of all time.
That's insane. That is the ultra hot chili pepper take right there, dude.
We've had many, many conversations about, well, who's the best here at the moment? And I'm like, well, I know he's not a left fielder, but if you did put Casey Schmidt out there, I think he'd probably do a decent enough job.
Only one way to find out.
Exactly. Sack off Elliott and we'll put Casey out there. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Moving over from the positional side, pitching side. First of all, Christian Koss pitched 4 innings with a 1 whip. No, did he give? Yeah, he gave up 4 hits. ERA of 0. So, if you're ever stuck for a starter, Christian Koss is your man.
That's super utility for a reason, man. It's great.
But obviously, you had some pretty good pieces this year in the rotation. We'll start off at the top. Why not? Logan Webb learned how to strike people out an obscene amount compared to the past. 224. Very durable, 34 games, 3.22 ERA. I've always had it in my head whenever I talk to a cow about the Giants, which is much more than I want to sometimes. Logan Webb is quietly underrated. And by that, I mean, everyone knows Logan Webb is a good pitcher, like a great pitcher. and he'll get the All-Star games and all the plaudits. But when you really think about like the Cy Young candidates, you've got Scooble, Skeens, Garrett Crochet, Yamamoto. Logan Webb is always like not too far off those names, but you never really hear them in conversation. Would you say that's a fair take, Dylan?
Yeah, super fair take. I mean, he's always great and right up there with those guys, but he's never like the guy, obviously, because he's never won a Cy Young. I think the closest he was 2 or 3 years ago when he lost to Blake Snell. I don't know if he'll ever win one, to be honest. I hope he does, but I mean, pitchers are just so good these days. Like it's unbelievable how much better pitching is now than even if you go back to, you know, the Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez era of baseball. Like they were great, but there was like a few of them. Now it's like everyone is throwing 103 miles per hour with, you know, a changeup at 87 that's just going to run off the plate 30 inches. It's just a tough time to be the guy, especially when the guy is Paul Skeens.
Yeah, totally agree. And he was, again, your rotation was actually quite strong. I think most people didn't really realize. I didn't realize until I've seen the stats. Robbie Ray, 3.65 ERA. Justin Verlander, 3.85. I thought that man was terrible. And then just turned it on.
Yeah, he had a great second half. The first half, he was abysmal. But he really turned it around, you know, like right around the All-Star break. And he played himself into a good contract. You know, anyone would have given him, what, $30-40 million a year. But now it's like, hey, we're going to give you that and have expectations again because we've seen that, you know, you still have a little bit in the tank.
Would you like to see him back on the Giants next year, or do you think you'd rather go in a different direction?
I don't think he wants to be back necessarily. I think he's kind of ring chasing at this point. And it's just a risk with the Giants right now. I wouldn't mind seeing him back, but I also think the Giants are going to sign Max Scherzer because Vitello coached him at Missouri many moons ago. So that kind of fills, you know, the slot of Justin Verlander in the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, your rotation next year, you've got Logan Webb, Robbie Ray's back, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you're looking at Landon Rope and Hayden Birdsong as your 4 and 5. That's a strong looking rotation. I mean, you got two vets, I'd argue an ace and a half because Robbie Ray on his day.
Mm-hmm.
If you signed at Scherzer, that could be a nasty looking rotation.
Yeah, and if Carson Wisenhunt can actually become who we all kind of expected him to be, again, another top prospect in the organization for many years, and he got some looks last year, and he showed signs of being good. He's got a great changeup, but again, he just never really reached that level that we needed him to get to. But he can. He absolutely can, and I hope he will. And kind of the same thing with Landon Roop. We saw him a lot. I'm pretty sure he was injured for most of the season. But when he came out there, he was shining a good amount of the time, and he's got a pretty high ceiling.
Nice. I would be excited if I had that rotation. I think the Cubs are a little bit lacking in that regard. I mean, if we had Logan Webb, fuck me, would be good.
Do you think Shota is coming back to the Cubs?
He is. He actually accepted the qualifying offer.
I read
did.
the
news about half an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
So,
talk about timing.
I know. I read it. I was like, oh my God, he's back. I love Shota.
Yeah, he's good.
I genuinely thought we'd go to the Giants because your ballpark probably plays nicer. You're on the West Coast. The man's a home run machine and not in a good way. Yeah. So before we go to halftime, I guess just just to sum up, in a few words, what went well for the Giants in 2025, and then on the flip side, what didn't go so well? What would you like to see improved on for 2026?
I think a lot of things didn't go well. First half of the season, and then kind of into the second half a little bit. It felt like we were losing every single game. But then they went on that run where they won it was 15 games in a row or something, and they were so many games out of a playoff spot. And they showed that they have a little bit of fight in them. And I think this team, the good part was that they're building this chemistry. And it takes some time to kind of work together, build together, live your life around these people and see them and be around them more than you see your own family. You're going to hate these guys. You're going to need to get to know them and love them and be brothers. And I think they put that together towards the tail end of the season, and they built a real chemistry, and it showed on the field, especially around the core group of guys, Adames, Chapman, Ramos, even Jung-Hoo Lee, who I think is hilarious, and all the guys love him. but mostly things went bad. So
nice. And then Cal, same question for you before we go for halftime.
I don't know. The main issue continues to just be consistency. I think we'll be pitching great and hitting like shit, or we'll be hitting fantastic and giving up 37 home runs in a game. We need the two to kind of balance out. And then, it's when the two do that we go on these crazy runs where we don't lose, or we start the season incredibly and then ruin it by making a fantastic trade. I don't know. I think what's good going forward to next year is we know who's going to be there. The guys are coming back for a long time as well. The core group of players that this team is built around really kind of set themselves apart. And, like we said, that team chemistry was just so much better than it has been the last few years. And so I'm looking forward to, Tony Vitello in there and maybe a couple free agents, maybe a couple trades or something. I don't know. I'm excited about next year, but I'm aggressively optimistic. So what the fuck do I know?
And on that note of what the fuck do I know, it's halftime. When we come back, we'll be chatting about the 2026, the outlook, any free agents, trades, any changes Dylan and Cal would like to see. And then, as always, we end with a start bench cut. So we'll catch you on the flip side. Welcome back to a Brit Does Baseball Does podcast. We're still here with Dylan. I can confirm he may or may not be a dragon. We haven't worked it out, but he is a dragon.
We'll see. So. Yeah.
We saw the fire. He proved it.
I did it off camera.
Yeah. He said not to tell, but I'm still just so excited about everything that I saw a man breathe fire just now. I can't not tell you about that. It's fucking rad.
You'll never know. Secret behind the podcast. Anyway, we're here to talk about the Giants. We've covered 2025. Average, as Dylan said. I think that's fair, especially when you finish with a 500 record exactly. I thought the Red Sox were going to do it 3 years in a row, but you took it off them. So congrats, guys. Proud of you. We're going to talk about 2026, but we're going to start off, as we always would, looking at free agents and any trades that we'd like, or Cal and Dylan would like to see. We can get into the nitty gritty of it. I'm not going to give you too many options, but one name that has been mentioned, former Cub, Kyle Tucker. How badly would you like to see Kyle Tucker in the Giants jersey next season?
Oh, it'd be a dream come true, man. Give him all the money he asked for. As we've seen with that blue team, there is no salary cap, so you can just do whatever the hell you want, apparently. I'd love to see him play in that ballpark. Sure, his numbers might take a hit a little bit because Oracle just doesn't play to the hitter, plays to the pitcher. But he's good enough to overcome that. We saw it with Willy Adames. We saw it with Devers. I'd be more than confident to think that we would also see it with Kyle Tucker. So I am fully on that train.
What sort of contract would you give him?
Whatever you ask. I mean, it would be big. It'd be big time, like a 10-year, $400 million or something around there. Thankfully for the Giants, that's not my job. It's for someone a lot smarter than me, because I'd be like, yeah, dude, you want $450 million? Do it. Take it. Whatever. But yeah, he'll get something real big.
Nice. I think, Cal, are you in agreement, or are you anti-Kyle Tucker?
Yeah, I think anything over 425, I'm going to start raising my eyebrows a little bit, but that's just because we in Britain and, well, European sports, we do it by like per week. So it's like when you're talking about like football contracts, it's like, oh, he's on 40 grand a week. So the second you start talking $400 million, like, that's too much. No one person is worth that to do anything. But per week, it probably works out just fine. So yeah, I don't know. And anything under 450 million, I think, is a fucking steal.
Yeah, I think that's what, if I was a general manager, which thank God I'm not. I don't know. I think the second half of the Cubs, and we spoke about it off air, I think the second half of the Cubs has cost him a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be material. And I don't know. I think there's a fit there. I think there's an obvious fit in your outfield. Put him in left field. It deals with a Ramos problem.
Yes, I was going to bring this up, actually. I think it could be a wild outfield to have Drew Gilbert in center, having Kyle Tucker at left and Jung Hoo Lee at right. I think that would be ridiculous.
Could be pretty good. It could definitely be pretty good. But Jung Hoo Lee usually is in center and Drew's in right. But I don't care either way. Whatever Tony Vitello thinks is best is what I think is best.
I agree.
Nice. And we maybe not so much Cal, but Dylan, you mentioned there's a bit of a gap at second base for you. Casey Smith, whilst he might be the nicest guy in all of baseball, which I can or cannot confirm. Casey, if you want to confirm, come on the podcast. We can ask you. We won't know.
Come on down, bro. That'd be great. That'd be awesome for you guys.
Oh, it'd be fantastic. He'll definitely watch this. I'm looking at the free agents for second baseman. I mean, the highest WAR is Willie Castro, who was Twins and Cubs last year. Can confirm you would not want him as your starting second baseman. But one name that sticks out is Jorge Polanco. Doesn't matter. The guy can hit. What would you reckon Jorge Polanco? Do you reckon there's a fit there at second base, Dylan?
Potentially. I mean, I don't know all that much about him. I know he's like a pretty average hitter, maybe a little bit above average. I don't know much about him on the defensive side of the ball, but I wouldn't mind. I think he's better than Casey Schmidt. Maybe not as good of an attitude, maybe not as cool and funny, and can't drink as many beers, but I wouldn't mind. But the guy I was really looking at that I see a lot of Giants fans talking about is Gleyber Torres from the Tigers. He was once Yankee. He had a really good season last year. He's good on both sides of the ball. He'd probably be pretty expensive because now he's kind of a veteran. But that's a guy I wouldn't mind seeing, as well as Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette, I know he's a shortstop. If there's a way him or Adames would be willing to move over to second, which I don't know if either of them would, I'd love that. I think Bichette has one of the best bats in the league. He raked in the postseason. Would be sick to see him in the black and orange.
Don't get me started. I'm going to start acting unnecessary if we start talking about an infield of Matt Chapman, Willy Adames, Bo Bichette, Rafael Devers. I'll never go to bed again if that happens.
I mean, that's like, if that was really to happen, that's probably the best infield in the league.
Ever, I think.
Ever? Yeah.
And ever will be. That would be ridiculous. How do you get a jersey with 4 guys' names on the back?
I was gonna make a joke, but I'm gonna sit that one out.
Chidetters. I don't know. Combine them all.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Are there any other like free agents or trades? I mean, the Gleyber Torres one, he's just accepted the qualifying offer. Sorry, breaking news: Gleyber Torres.
Oh, he did? Shit. All right.
Tigers.
Cut that out. Cut that piece out.
22 million for a 1-year deal with the Tigers. You could trade for him. Bo Bichette, though, I'm looking at it position by position. I was like, shortstop. They don't need a shortstop. They've got Willy Adames. I'm like, oh yeah, there is that possibility that Bichette could play second base. One other name that sticks out: Ha-Sung Kim. Him at second for the Globe.
I could see it. He's buddies with Jung Hoo Lee. That would make a lot of sense. We were talking about the whole chemistry aspect of this team. He would fit right in. And I think Asian baseball players just have that swag, man. They play the game a little different. It's like something about it is just like, it's like fluid. It's like water. And their stance and their approach to the game is just, it's got that twang. You know what I mean?
I hear that. It would be cool. I don't know if it would be the most exciting, but it would be more just efficient. Like he's a better second baseman than Casey Schmidt. Fine. I'll submit.
At least you admit that.
Yes. If we were to sign somebody who spent more than 6 months playing second base, it's probably not a bad thing. So yeah, it would be good. I don't think it shifts the needle more than like 2 or 3 games our way, but for team chemistry vibes and kind of just defensive assuredness, yeah, it can't hurt.
Nice. And then moving on to the rotation side. So I know we mentioned earlier about, you'd love to see Max Scherzer in the rotation. Are there any other names, within the realms of realistic, which I think, to be fair, for the Giants, most of them are. We're not talking about like the Rockies or the Pirates here. Are there any other names that stick out to you, Dylan, in the free agency or something you'd like to trade for?
Yeah, there's the Japanese guy, Imai.
Yep.
I'm looking at his name over Tatsuya Imai from the Cebu Lions in the MPB. First of all, I think that guy's a good player. Second of all, he said the league was too easy for him. People stopped trying to hit home runs, so he needs better competition. And third of all, he said, I forget exactly what it was, but something to the effect of that he doesn't like something about the Dodgers or something about Yamamoto. There was a little bit of shit talk. I forget what it was, but something was there. And
Us.
do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I've got no idea, but this is fantastic to hear. I love it.
Exactly. Yeah. So he just feels like a giant, and he won't be that expensive. He should be pretty good. Third in the rotation behind Robbie Ray. That's definitely a guy that sparks my curiosity. If I could have the guy that I would want the most, it's probably Framber Valdez from the Houston Astros. Yep. He's just been a model of consistency his whole career. He's got a high K strikeout upside and everything good that you want in a pitcher. And the Hispanic baseball players too, man, they bring a different kind of swag to the field. I don't know if he's Dominican or Venezuelan, but I think it's one of the two. And they're just great, dude. And they love the game and they play it a certain way, and it just gets me going.
Oh yeah, the team needs more swag. I was talking about this with my pals in the pub a couple of seasons ago. I was like, we need more Dominicans. We need to get more Dominican about this whole situation because it's not fun enough.
Yeah, we're too white.
Yeah.
We're just like 2% milk. It's fucking boring, dude. I need like something, you know?
Yeah, dude. And sadly, not everybody's George Kittle. So,
there
are a few Tyler Fitzgeralds out there. So,
yeah, it's a matter of fact.
I've never heard a team described as 2% milk. So that's the first of this series.
That came to me just on a whim. I don't know where it came from, but it happened.
I mean, as we move through, we've spoken about the rotation, positional side, relief pitchers. I guess really, I'm looking at the names. I'm looking at Edwin Diaz and Devin Williams, who I think are after big money contracts.
Yeah.
Would you take one of those on I think Edwin Diaz is looking for something like 4 years, 100 million, or would you maybe look at like the reclamations? I mean, I personally think I'd have which one of the Rogers twins got traded to the Mets?
I was just going to bring him up, Tyler Rogers. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pirates mugged us off with the other one because we got the shitter one. For the back half of the season. It was still like average, but would you like to have Taylor back in the bullpen at San Francisco?
Yeah, absolutely. I would. He went and we knew he was on a 1-year deal or like the last year of his contract and he would be a free agent. And I think that was a very intentional move by Buster Posey. Is, hey, let's get rid of him now. And not only would we love to have him back, but I'm pretty sure he'd be happy to come back as well. He was happy as ever in San Francisco, and I have no doubt in my mind that he would be happy to come back. So sign me up.
Absolutely. And you give him a little holiday in New York, just be like, see, because you're always going to think about like, what if I did go pitch for another team? It's like, well, you can go do that and then come back. We'll give you a little bit more money. And then we'll build a statue of your weird fucking wind-up, which is great.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like when you're and your girlfriend getting in a little argument, you take a little break, 2-3 months, go find another girl, but then you always come back to the one you love. You don't love that other girl. You're just having fun, right? That's just New York, baby.
It wasn't good. I didn't have a great time, but like it was all right. I lived in a nice apartment for a while, so that was cool.
Yeah, you get it. Exactly.
But can I tempt you with like an Edwin Diaz contract, or are you happy with kind of? Okay.
As much as I'd love to have him on the team, that's just like to me an insane amount to spend on a closer. I mean, look at a guy like Randy Rodriguez last year. He was lights out, and that's someone that we just like organically developed in the farm. And I think there are a lot of. I was just saying, remember how I think pitching has become insane and everyone and their mother is throwing 104 miles per hour. You could find one of those guys and develop him and put him into, a high leverage role, potentially the closer role.
Yeah. Shout out to my mum throwing a 90 mile per hour screwball.
Yeah. Good for your mom, man.
She's been working on it.
I think that Ryan Walker can't possibly be as bad as he was last year, so I think he gets another year at least.
Talk about a disappointment, man. The year before that, he was great. And then I don't know what it was last year, but he just had the yips and he couldn't get it together. And sad show.
But it can't last forever. He'll be okay. And if it's not him, maybe Carson Wisenhunt takes some time at the back end. But Spencer Bivens, he was great towards the back end of the season. There's loads of people that it could be. You don't have to have a closer. You just have to have that one guy that's a little bit different to everybody else that you're going to rely on to deal with the pressure more so than anyone else. It doesn't have to be a flamethrower. It doesn't have to be a slider that changes fucking postcodes. He's just got to be reliable. That's it.
I agree.
The American translation for postcode is area code, by the way.
I picked up on that. Yeah,
just for all the fans. All 30 of our fans.
All five. Yes, thank you.
All 5 of our listeners, one of which is my mum. She came up the other day. Sorry, she came up the other day and was just like, "Yeah, I got bored on one of your last episodes." I was like, oh, thanks, Mum.
Mom, you're not supposed to say that.
Yeah.
Listen, just because you throw the nastiest screwball in all of baseball history doesn't mean that you get to talk about us like that.
Yeah, how dare she?
I reckon we're about 46, 47 minutes into this. There's no way she's gone this deep on this podcast.
She got bored at Welcome Back.
Yeah.
Not again.
For fuck's sake, this shit.
You downloaded it, Mum? Yeah, of course I have. Perfect. So relief pitchers, free agents, trades done. We're approaching the end of our 2025 season review. Couple of questions to end on, Dylan. These are the hard-hitting questions. Number one, our colleague who isn't here, Dan, is a gambling man. Not just because it rhymes. Works for boats, famously.
He does.
Works for boats?
Works with boats, for boats. We don't know.
With boats. That's like okay, yeah. I
boats as a general concept. That's his official job title.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of that.
Not ships. Don't let him tell you otherwise. Also,
no.
Same thing. Anyway, we in America, is it the Vegas odds? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
When we're betting. What would you say is the under over on the wins next year for the Giants?
I'd say like 84.5 is probably like a good number. And I think we hit the over. I think next year is finally when we actually become a fun, good team again. And I would probably smash the over on that.
Nice. Dan, if you're listening, which I know you are because you're not on the podcast, hope those boats are treating you well, my friend. He'll come back on. I think he's going to record one later this week with Cal and he'll give me shit back, so it's only fair game. We also give him shit when he's on the podcast. It's great. Perfect. So under overs at 84.5 and Dylan's putting it all on over. If I was a fan of the Giants, what have I got to look forward to in 2026 and why should I be a fan of this team?
Bryce fucking Eldridge. You said I could swear.
You can.
I know it's like my third or fourth one of the show. A little pirate mouth over here, but Bryce Eldridge, dude. That you will not find someone west of the Mississippi that's higher on him than me. I think he's a future MVP, a future multi-time MVP. I think he's the home run champion. I think he's a World Series champion. I think he's going to be the best player to ever come through San Francisco outside of Barry Bonds.
Absolutely. Yes. It's the future's exciting. I think he's going to play a much bigger role this year because there is more game time for him. I think kind of splitting time between DH and first base with him and Rafael Devers, I think that's a lot of time to learn from him as well. I think he's got a phenomenal group of uncles to teach him the ways of the baseball. Bryce Eldridge is going to be big for the Giants next year, bigger going forward, but I don't know. I think just Giants baseball is going to be explosive and interesting for the first time in a while next year. It'll be fun. No matter what happens, it'll be exciting.
God, I hope so.
It has to be. It
has to be, man. It has to be.
It
Oh,
can't
man.
not be.
No, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't have another year of that team that I will not mention winning the freaking World Series. I can't do it again. I can't do it again.
That might happen, but hey, at least if we could have some fun during this season, at least, then I'll deal with it. I'll say some more nice things about the Dodgers or whatever I'm contractually obliged to when they play well. If it means that I can see fucking Matt Chapman hit like 5 walk-offs, that'd be fine. That's fine.
That'd be great. Sorry, I'm yawning. My fault. It's not even late over here. I don't know what's happening.
I love the bravado you both gave, and then was just like, I hope it fucking does. Like, he just went, Bryce Elder. Yeah. And it was like, oh, I hope we're good.
I mean, man, I put a lot on the line with the things I say, and so far, most of them have not come true. So it's a good time over here.
And I can't think of a better note to. But that's going to end the main part of the season review. So, Dylan, thank you so much for joining us. We can't let you go though without a start bench cut.
All right,
we have 2 start bench cuts. So, if you don't know how start bench cut works, as Cal normally says, happy 3rd birthday. I'm going to give Cal and Dylan 3 options. One is baseball related, one is non-baseball related. You have to start one, you have to bench one, and you have to cut one. And this first one, it's a little bit personal for me because you didn't like my hot takes, Dylan. Or they weren't spicy enough.
Yeah.
So the Giants have had, as we've said, 5-10 years of, bang average, however many years it is. But prior to that, you had a little bit of a dynasty going. You won the World Series in 2010, you had the World Series in 2012, and you had a World Series in 2014. So you're going to start the 2010, 2012, or 2014 team. So start, bench, cut out of the 3. Over to you.
Ooh, now we're talking. All right. I think we have to start 2010. Just because it was the first time in 50 so years that it happened. No one expected it. It was a bunch of ragtag guys that kind of just got together and played good baseball. It was Buster Posey's rookie season. Tim Lincecum was lights out. It was a fantastic season. And then we just got spoiled a couple more years later. Bench, I think we got to go 2014. That was the Mad Bum year against the Kansas City Royals, and he was fantastic the entire postseason, specifically in the World Series. I think he's the greatest postseason pitcher of all time. Phenomenal World Series showcase there. So that one's got a bench. And then I hate to say it, but you got to cut 2012. Nobody loves the middle brother. I can speak from experience. So that's probably my order.
All I'm going to say is you came on this podcast and you cut a World Series team. So
hey, whoa,
I got you.
I'm put on the spot here, folks.
I'm messing. Cal, over to you.
2014 was the year of the Brandon Crawford kind of Grand Slam. That was that year, wasn't it?
Yeah, against Pirates.
Starting that year for Mad Bum and B Crawl reasons. And then I'll bench 2010 and cut 2012. I don't know heaps about these years because I became a Giants fan properly in like 2016, 2017 when I got more into baseball. But the 2014 highlights are the ones that I kind of get the most excited about, and Brandon Crawford was one of my favorite players that was kind of helped me develop my love for the Giants. And so kind of watching that back is quite special. And then 2010 gets the nod over 2012 just because of the Buster Posey rookie year. He is my favorite Giant of all time.
I will say the 2012 year has some fantastic moments. That was the Grand Slam by Buster Posey off of that one pitcher on the Reds. I forget his name, but I hated him a lot. He was the big guy covered in tattoos. That year, I think we're also down to the final game in every series except the World Series. I think we're down 3-1, 2-1, 3-1, whatever, all the games. And that was also the World Series, I believe, where Pablo Sandoval hit 3 home runs in a game off of Justin Verlander, and then whoever else came in to pitch later in that game. So I love 2012. Don't get mad at me.
Oh, yeah. I just feel like we don't see. Maybe this is another issue with British media and American sports, but I see a lot of 2010 and 2014 highlights compared to 2012, which, there's still a lot. There's still lots of fantastic moments, but I think it is that, kind of the shock of 2010 and then the kind of the mad bum pitch and kind of 2014 that kind of just get the spotlight over the, just quality of 2012, I suppose. So I don't know if that's a British media thing or a Giants Twitter thing, which, as we've established, is a scary place. I don't like it. I don't have Twitter anymore because of Giants Twitter.
Dude.
And I had like 2 followers, and one of them was Gaz. Like it was scary. I didn't like it. But yeah, they're all good. But if I was to go off of the highlights I've seen and enjoyed the most, it would be that order. What do you think, Gaz? Where would you rank them?
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful thing is the one asking the question, I don't need to answer. But I'm going to start 2014 because I've heard of Mad Bum. I'd have Mad Bum every day of the week. Bring him in. One series contract. I think I've got a cut. Pardon?
Bench 2012. Go on.
Nah, fuck it. I'm going to agree with you guys. Clickbait. I agree with the fact that 2010, your first one's always the most special.
Yeah.
So we'll bench that, and then 2012. You were building up to the 2014 one, really. 2012 was just a little bonus. You guys like, oh, well done, guys. Have another World Series. That's the way I'd think of it. Just because I love the name Mad Bum. Okay, so you'll be happy to know, Dylan, we've finished up on all the baseball talk.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know. I mean, who would have had fun speaking about baseball with us for the best part of the hour?
Right.
But we've got one more star bench cut. It's non-baseball related. We like to loosely theme it to the episode. And as we've mentioned, you are a dragon. It's your Instagram verified. It's official. You are a dragon. No one can tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at other dragons, not yourself. That would be harsh. We're going to look at other dragons that you're going to start bench and cut. So your options are Mushu from Mulan.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The dragon from Shrek. I don't know what her name is, but I know that she has sex with a donkey.
Yeah, she's fine.
And Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon is going to be the third one. And I'm not just saying that because Cal pulled it. I wrote this before Cal showed us the class.
I think there was a little spoiler earlier in the episode. I mean, Toothless is the starter. He's one of the GOATs of all time in the dragon world. I'm surprised you didn't bring in any Game of Thrones dragons here.
I almost did, but then I thought I was going to do. I got the Shrek one and Mushu, and then I saw Toothless, and I was going to go Drogon. I was like, nah, Toothless is the GOAT. So
yeah, well, it would have been a toss up there, but yeah, Toothless is definitely the GOAT. He's the starter here. Probably bench Mushu and then cut the weird dragon from Shrek. She's a little too horny for me.
Fantastic answer, Cal.
Yeah, dragon from Shrek's got some weird stuff going on. I think we should be checking her hard drive. There's no way that anything legal was going on there. He may not have the legacy score that Mushu does, but Toothless, man, what a guy, what an adorable little bastard. Even in I don't know if you guys are silly enough to go and watch children's movies these days, but the like live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon rips. Really great.
It's good.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the same, but there's people, and Toothless is real. And it was cool, and I loved it. Mushu's fun. Mushu's great. I like the slightly more Asian depiction of dragons where they're a bit like longer and thinner and kind of spirally and stuff. And that's a lot of fun. But yeah, how can you look into these very blurry eyes and not see greatness, really?
Fully agree.
I think it's going to be a full house on the. I think it's going to be a full house in full agreement. I cannot, with a right mind, get that dragon anywhere near my bench. I would fear for my other players. There'd be police everywhere. I don't need to be cancelled. It's not something I need in my life. So that dragon is cut. She's not making it out of spring training. She can go play for the Pirates or something for like a. I'm going to start Toothless. It's a tough one between Mushu and Toothless for me. I think Mushu's that, as you said, the legacy. He's got It's that elder veteran in the team. Someone who's going to give you some guidance, especially if he's in the bullpen. But Toothless, man. I mean,
he's got great character, but good. We've seen it with the World Series, right? The power of friendship's only going to go so far.
Yeah, and you need to.
It's the checkbook. What's going to make you more money? How to Train Your Dragon is a vastly superior franchise, and so listen, the numbers don't lie.
They killed it with the remake, the live action remake of Mulan as well. I don't think Mushu was in it, so it picks it. We're starting Toothless. Mushu's going to be coming off the bench as a late inning reliever, probably a setup man. He doesn't strike me as a closer. He'll pitch you a good 7th, and then Toothless is coming in for end Dragon Fire the 8th, 9th, 10th. He can go as long as Toothless wants.
Dragon's going to jail for fucking awful crimes against other species. It's bad. What you doing?
And Donkey.
Yeah, Donkey might need some serious therapy. Did anyone ask if he was like okay? Because I feel like he's kind of masking over some serious issues he may be dealing with here. But just listen, Donkey, if you're listening, we're here for you. We love you. We support you. We believe you.
Wow,
good thing
really got deep there.
Yeah, good thing Noah from DreamWorks is going to be listening to this, or they might be if they want to sponsor us. We'll do a Shrek 5.
Yeah, I'll sit down with Dragon, ask her some questions.
The Dragon's in jail. Shrek 5, Dragon in jail. Anyway, we could sit here and talk about stuff like Nando's and how wrong the Dragon is from Shrek and how great Toothless is, and also how fantastic the Giants are probably going to be next season. But I need to get to bed because it's quite late my time. So, Dylan, massive thank you for joining us from across the pond. It's been an absolute pleasure having you. Anything you'd like to plug? Your socials, your Instagram, anything?
Not really. Just Dylan is a dragon. All right.
Lost it. You lost it. It was.
Did I? Yeah. I feel like I tend to hit over to Australian a little bit when I try to do this shit. But no, I appreciate you guys having me on. It was definitely a good time. Go Scotland. You're coming over stateside for the World Cup. That'll be fun, and we'll do it again sometime. What do you say?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right. Great to me. Again, thank you so much for coming on. I've been Gaz. Cal has been crying, happy, and every emotion in between. And Dylan has been a dragon. You've been fantastic. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you and goodbye.